Canadian officials are scrambling after the country's parliament gave a standing ovation to a Ukrainian veteran who fought for the Nazis during World War II. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau calling it shameful and unacceptable. Speaker of Parliament Anthony Rota extending his deepest apologies to Jewish communities in Canada and around the world. Now, he had praised the 98-year-old Yaroslav Hunka, a Ukrainian immigrant, on Friday during President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to Canada, telling the House of Commons that Hunka had fought for Ukrainian independence. It was later pointed out that Hunka had, in fact, served in a Nazi military unit, the 14th Waffen Grenadier Division of the SS. Take a look. So for more, we go live to Canada and we welcome Michael Levitt, the president and CEO of the Friends of Simon Wiesenthal Centre in Toronto. Thank you so much, Michael, for your time. This is just truly unbelievable, mortifying for Canadian officials, upsetting and offensive for Jewish communities the world over. The standing ovation for a Nazi mass murderer. He was praised as a Ukrainian hero and a Canadian hero. So tell us more about Yaroslav Hunka and how did Canadian officials get this so horribly wrong?
It's hard to believe that in 2023 we can actually be having this conversation. We are all astounded. Obviously, it was right before Yom Kippur, and certainly it's been something that's been reflected on amongst Jewish families over the last couple of days, but this has become a massive issue within Parliament, nationally, and quite sadly, internationally as well, because we've seen it been used as a propaganda tool coming out of the Kremlin to attack Ukraine as well, something which is really an awful outcome. How did it happen? Those are the issues that we're digging into. At this point, the Speaker of the House of Commons, Anthony Rota, has said that he issued the invitation. He added him into the program, and he did the call out on the floor of the House. He issued an apology on Friday, but again, Friends of Simon Wiesenthal Centre, the organization that I represent, we've said that there's some things that are just irredeemable, and an apology is not sufficient for giving this individual with such a sordid past, a history of participating in a Waffen SS Nazi unit. The fact that he was stood in Parliament, applauded, because everybody got up and applauded him, including President Zelensky. The Speaker has to resign, and we need answers of how this could possibly have happened.
As you say, we see the images of the Ukrainian president also standing up. Surely, was the onus not on him or his entourage to say anything? Has there been any official response from the Ukrainian president, himself Jewish, or even his delegation? What can you tell us?
Not that I'm aware of, and no, he bears no responsibility for this situation. The Speaker of the House has made it clear that the Ukrainian delegation was not notified in advance. This was added on spur of the moment, the call out from the floor, and it is absolutely awful to have a Jewish president who has taken a stand against the glorifying of the history of these units in Ukraine in the past. To have him, as part of this standing ovation, I think Canada and certainly the Speaker owes him a great apology. And no, absolutely, I put no responsibility for this on President Zelensky or his entourage.
One wonders whether there will be some kind of official response nonetheless after this situation all unfolds. Michael, it certainly speaks to the urgent need for Holocaust education, not only for teachers, but for parliamentarians too. Do you see this as being part of a broader pattern around Holocaust distortion and efforts by some countries to rewrite historic histories for personal agendas and narratives like we've seen in Poland and elsewhere in Europe? What is your take?
Yeah, my take is that absolutely not what's at play here, although Holocaust distortion and a lack of awareness about the Holocaust and the lessons of that darkest period of time are something that are very concerning. As a former member of parliament in the Canadian legislature myself up until a couple of years ago, I know the individual involved. He's a good and honest man, but this is an absolutely unforgivable mistake. And he's, my belief is he should absolutely not be serving as the Speaker of the House.
Do you think he is going to lose his job?
Well, he has not resigned as of yet. We've called for it again this morning. The opposition parties and even members of his own government, including cabinet ministers, are echoing that call for him to step down. It's unclear on the procedure to remove him, but I'm hopeful that common sense will prevail. But to your other point, absolutely, if there's any glimmer of light, faint glimmer of light that can come out of this darkness, it's a reaffirmation of the importance of Holocaust education and remembrance, and a reflection on the history of that darkest time, including, by the way, Canada's deeply, deeply shameful record in admitting Holocaust, those that collaborated in the Holocaust, Nazis and others, into Canada. We know that the none is too many policy is something that that turned Jews away at the borders as they fled Nazi Germany and Europe writ large. So let this be a reminder of those dark times and an opportunity for all Canadians to be able to look and have a contemporary assessment of that record and what maybe we can do about it now. But Canada's shameful record on holding those accountable for the atrocities during the Holocaust is well known, and unfortunately, this is it coming back to bite us in our national parliament.
Many challenges ahead, no doubt, as you say, even though we are sitting in 2023. Who would have thought? Thank you so much. Michael Levitt, President and CEO of the Friends of Simon Wiesenthal Centre, live from Toronto. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on.